This regular meeting for June 3rd, 2026 is now in session. Please rise for the pledge of allegiance to the flag. Clerk will call the roll.
President Morris.
Here.
Councilmember Hidden.
Here.
Kernhagen.
Here.
Roney.
Here.
Sarver.
Here.
Foster.
Here.
Roberts.
Yes.
Elton.
Here.
Vola. Present.
Here.
Moranti.
Here.
Form present.
May we have a motion to dispense with the reading of the minutes of May 26th, regular meeting in place on file. Motion from Claire, second from Luan. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Opposed? Okay, carried. Departmental reports and copies have been posted on the city website. May I have a motion and second to place committee reports on file? Motion for committee reports. Jenny, second, Jason. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Our first order of business this evening is, Kenneth going to walk us through this, I believe, correct? The secret of, you want your copies?
We have a copy.
Yeah, we all have a copy of it. This is a, basically informational sheet, that has to be filed in relation to the amendment, the local law amendment relating to the dock, the clarification of the code. So Kevin, can you just, you what we're doing here is verifying the accuracy of what is in this document. So
Yeah,
you want to go through?
Local laws, require secret review, but the first step is just this part one, but for local laws, you care to flip ahead, where it says, on the middle of page 2, right under chief planning and zoning, it says C1. Will administrative or legislative adoption or amendment of the plan, local law ordinance or regular rule or regulation be the only approvals that must be granted, and it is, it's a local. So it says there, yes, just proceed to the end. So this is, when people come to actual projects and planning boards, there's all kinds of information about the substance of what's going on. But for local law, it's essentially, a sort of biographical information. Who's doing it? Contact information, a couple lines about what it is, but there really isn't anything of consequence in the charts and for local law. But I just want to confirm, Margaret submitted this earlier on, and so basically this has to be, whenever someone submits it, then part one, the body receiving it just needs to verify that it and accept it as what it is. So you just go through it, reading on page 1, name of the action, it's just the local law amendment section 325, page of the Hudson, so a couple lines about what it does. You can see the whole bottom half of the first page is the applicant, city clerk's address, email, phones. Who needs to approve it? It's a local law, the only actual body that has approval, which is council and signed by the mayor. Agencies like the planning gets referred to the planning board and the county planning board with the authorities or they get verified that they are not approving bodies. They issue advisory opinions or guidance, but they're not approving bodies, so they're not involved. It covers it, it does it. And also some of the stuff gets filled out automatically by there's a thing called the EAF, Environmental Assessment Form Mapper, that the New York State DC has. You put in the location of the place and it fills out some of these cells. So
Is that why some of the cells don't have a yes or no answer to them?
yeah, I think so. And
Because of number 3 here is the project site.
What page are you on?
So, where are you?
Okay.
I'm on page 2.
Yeah, that's one of the, like, I don't think so.
That's, we're not a county agency because A says that we're a city council, town board or village.
No. Coastal resources, go to I, and then under that,
Yeah.
That's the project.
third I, the three little I's.
Coastal erosion hazard areas is special. Yeah, it didn't come up checked on the,
And then, in C3 under zoning, is the use permitted or allowed by special or conditional use permit?
there is no use because it's an active law, so that's not an applicant.
Okay. Making sure we're not.
No, we can verify that coastal resources, the coastal erosion hazard area, but it doesn't actually have any impact on it. It's okay, finding out about it. Because there's actually no project site here, but
Much of it is not applicable.
most of it's not. And the community services, it's one of the school district, Hudson City Schools, make sure they know additional things. What police are the public protection forces, Hudson Police Department, Columbia County Sheriff, New York State Police. I think that covers it. Fire protection, emergency medical, City of Hudson Fire Department, Greenport Rescue, that covers it. Henry Hudson's waterfront park is within the area addressed, but I mean, that's really about it. And then, part of that, it's just asks is for a little more explanation what it's about. Again, it's primarily for identification purposes. So I said, the EF for a local law is pretty significant. It's you do have to go through, you will have to go through the parts 2 and 3, which is where the meat of the matter is. That's where you actually address questions about possible impacts. But these ones aren't really designed to bring in the substance of local laws. That will be discussed when we go through part 2. So,
Any other questions? Okay. So, may I have a motion and a second to vote on, putting this, pursuing this evening? Motion?
I'll make
Motion? Oh, I didn't see you take a,
doesn't.
Ronnie made a motion. Do I have a second? Henry? Okay, can we have a roll call vote?
This is not approving anything. This is just saying that the information on it's correct. That's usually it's accepting it for consideration, not actually doing it.
President Morris,
Yes.
Councilmember Hurd,
Aye.
Fernhagen,
Aye.
Broden.
Aye.
Farmer.
Aye.
Foster.
Aye.
Roberts.
Aye.
Felton,
Aye.
Volo,
Aye.
President,
Aye.
Moranti.
Aye.
Carried.
Our first resolution this evening, is a resolution, as you're aware, there is a vacancy on the IDA. A member of the IDA has now taken Mike Fulker's role. And, in this process, any community member can put their name forward for consideration. And, Vicky, that's Committee, who's here this evening, has put her name forward to be, considered for the IDA. So the resolution we have before us is pretty much the same one we had when we appointed Charlie Millar. The authority to appoint the community member to the IDA rests with the Common Council. So before we vote on this, I'd like to give Vicky an opportunity to speak to the council.
Hello, nice to see you again. For any of you that don't know me, I'm Vicky Lastarudi. I was I was a council member and part of the finance committee for 4 years. I believe during that time, I voted fairly and always for the city's best interest. My background, I studied business management finance and I've done mortgages and real estate, commercial and residential real estate. And I feel that experience I have would be valuable for the IDA. And you say, you consider.
Thank you. Anyone have any questions?
I'm just wondering, what happened to,
Michael?
Michael?
I spoke with him, he decided to withdraw his name, and I spoke with him to confirm, because the process is if it's more than one person, which we had a couple of years ago. They both come, they talk to us, and then we vote, but he made a decision to rescind, and I confirmed that with me personally. Any other questions?
I just got one. Vicky, you live in the fifth ward, right?
Yes.
I think I caught you on camera, on my video camera, T-pad in my front tree. Is that you? Yeah, just kidding.
Alrighty, so can we have a, motion and a second vote on the resolution? Sorry, sorry.
Motion.
Rich is a motion, Jenny's a second. Can we have a roll call vote, please?
President Morris,
Yes.
Councilmember Haddad,
Aye.
Kurt Hagan,
Aye.
Browning.
Aye.
Sarwar,
Aye.
Foster,
No.
Roberts,
Aye.
Felton,
Aye.
Bola,
Aye.
Cousin,
No.
Moranti.
I look forward to working with you, because I,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Motion carried.
Okay, thank you, Vicky.
Thank you.
Our next resolution, which we reviewed last week is, appointing Commissioner of Deeds. May I have a motion? Second, vote on the motion. Second, Jason. Roll call vote.
President Morris,
Yes.
Councilmember Haddad,
Aye.
Kurt Hagan,
Yes.
Browning,
yes.
Sarwar,
Aye.
Foster,
Aye.
Roberts,
Aye.
Felton,
Aye.
Bola,
Aye.
Cousin,
Yes.
Moranti.
Aye.
Carried.
Our next resolution authorizes the mayor to sign a quote to perform citywide reassessment. And if anyone has any questions at any point, but these were all reviewed last week. May I have a motion and a second to vote on this? Motion from Henry, second from Jason. Roll call vote.
President Morris,
Yes.
Councilmember Haddad,
Aye.
Kurt Hagan,
Aye.
Browning,
Aye.
Sarwar,
Aye.
Foster,
Aye.
Roberts,
Aye.
Felton,
Aye.
Bola,
Aye.
Cousin, Moranti.
Aye.
Carried.
Our next resolution is authorizing a budget amendment to add a full-time CEO position. May I have a motion and a second? Henry, motion. Jason, second. A roll call vote.
President Morris,
Yes.
Councilmember Haddad,
Aye.
Kurt Hagan,
Aye.
Browning,
Aye.
Sarwar,
Aye.
Foster,
Aye.
Roberts,
Aye.
Felton,
Aye.
Bola,
Aye.
Cousin, Moranti.
Aye.
Carried.
Our next resolution authorizes the mayor to execute a settlement agreement and general release of claims relating to the youth department, representatives, New York State, SLRS contributions. May I have a motion? Henry, and a second. Claire? Roll call vote.
President Morris,
Yes.
Councilmember Haddad,
Aye.
Kurt Hagan,
Aye.
Browning,
Aye.
Sarwar,
Aye.
Foster,
Aye.
Roberts,
Aye.
Felton,
Aye.
Bola,
Aye.
Cousin, Moranti.
Aye.
Carried.
Our next resolution authorizing the budget amendments to cover the 2024 to present senior center utility expenses. May I have a motion? Claire, second. Gary, roll call vote.
President Morris,
Yes.
Councilmember Haddad,
Aye.
Kurt Hagan,
Aye.
Browning,
Aye.
Sarwar,
Aye.
Foster,
Aye.
Roberts,
Aye.
Felton,
Aye.
Bola,
Aye.
Cousin, Moranti.
Aye.
Carried.
Our next resolution is designating June as LGBTQ plus Pride Month, designation. May I have a motion and a second? Rich and Jenny. Motion and a second. Roll call vote?
President Morris.
Yes.
Councilmember Haddad.
Aye.
Fernhagen.
Aye.
Browning.
Aye.
Sarver. Foster.
Aye.
Roberts.
Aye.
Felton.
Aye.
Volo.
Aye.
Cousin. Moranti.
Aye.
Carried.
The next is a transfer of funds for employees covered under the CSEA contract. May I have a motion and second? Jenny is motion, Claire is second. And roll call vote.
President Morris.
Yes.
Councilmember Haddad.
Aye.
Fernhagen.
Aye.
Browning.
Aye.
Sarver.
Aye.
Foster.
Aye.
Roberts.
Aye.
Felton.
Aye.
Volo.
Aye.
Cousin. Moranti.
Aye.
Carried.
Our next resolution is budget amendment to provide funds for housing directors longevity increase. And may I have a motion and a second to go through this?
Discuss this one last.
Yes, we do. Do you have questions?
No,
I can explain it to you if you have any questions.
yes, I guess the main question is this for the retirement fund or?
No, this is, under the CSEA contract, there is a longevity payment that they receive at the 5-year mark. It's a one-time payment. And the funding for this particular position is out of HCDPA, it's out of an HTF grant that's managed by HCDPA, and Dominic can correct me when I go up there. And so basically, this position is in the payroll in the city of Hudson,
Gotcha.
but the fund, once a quarter, the city receives a check from HCDPA to cover the costs of the position. That's how it works.
Okay.
Right, any other questions on this one? Okay, did we already get a motion in a second? No, do we have a motion? Jason, second. Jenny, I think, one second.
Claire.
Claire, okay.
Yours for him first, actually.
Okay, so can we have a roll call vote, to approve this resolution?
President Morris.
Yes.
Councilmember Haddad.
No.
Fernhagen.
Aye.
Browning.
Aye.
Sarver.
Aye.
Foster.
Aye.
Roberts.
Aye.
Felton.
Aye.
Volo.
Aye.
Cousin.
Aye.
Moranti.
Aye.
Carried.
Next item is a, budget amendment to consolidate metered parking revenue. This, we also discussed last week, it's basically an accounting thing where it will all be on one line in the budget in the treasurer's, system. So may I have a motion and second on this one? Henry motion second. One second. So can we have a roll call vote?
President Morris.
Yes.
Councilmember Haddad.
Aye.
Fernhagen.
Aye.
Browning.
Aye.
Sarver.
Aye.
Foster.
Aye.
Roberts.
Aye.
Felton.
Aye.
Volo.
Aye.
Cousin. Moranti.
Aye.
Carried.
Our next, also from last week, is authorizing an increase in petty cash for the treasury and public works. Motion and second. Jason, motion and Henry second. So can we have a roll call vote?
President Morris.
Yes.
Councilmember Haddad.
Aye.
Fernhagen.
Aye.
Browning.
Aye.
Sarver.
Aye.
Foster.
Aye.
Roberts.
Aye.
Felton.
Aye.
Volo.
Aye.
Cousin. Moranti.
Aye.
Carried.
Next resolution is, relates to the New York State, employee retirement system reporting. And we reviewed this last week. May I have a motion and second?
Motion.
Motion from Duan, second from Jason. Roll call vote.
President Morris.
Yes.
Councilmember Haddad.
Aye.
Fernhagen. Browning.
Aye.
Sarver.
Aye.
Foster.
Aye.
Roberts.
Aye.
Felton.
Aye.
Volo.
Aye.
Cousin. Moranti.
Aye.
Carried.
So our next resolution is, the renewal of our insurance with Marshall and Sterling. May I have a motion and second? Gary, motion and second. Add one. A roll call vote.
President Lawrence.
Yes.
Councilmember Haddad.
Aye.
Karen Hagan.
Yes.
Browning.
Aye.
Sarver.
Aye.
Foster.
Aye.
Roberts. Felton.
Aye.
Volo.
Aye.
Cousin.
Aye.
Moranti.
Aye.
Karen.
So the next couple of resolutions are time sensitive and came in after the informal meeting, so you received them. One of them, I think you only received yesterday or today. You have yesterday. You have received them, but we did not review them in the informal. So the first is a resolution authorizing the police department to apply for a law enforcement technology grant from New York State. The time sensitivity on this is that they've been informed that the date for applications is going to be released very soon. They don't know when that's going to be, and it may occur before our next meeting. These grants from New York State are paid up front, so this is not money we have to expend before it can be used. So this is simply setting it up that the police department will be able to apply for these funds. Any questions?
Did anyone speak to HPD?
I spoke with Mashonda very briefly, and she had put this together, and I have been reviewed by Heather, so I don't know that anyone from the police department online?
Not that I see.
Okay,
Introduced.
okay, we have, Duane will introduce. Do we have a second? And Henry second? May we have a roll call vote, please?
President Lawrence.
Yes.
Councilmember Haddad.
Aye.
Karen Hagan.
Aye.
Browning.
Aye.
Sarver.
Aye.
Foster.
Aye.
Roberts.
Aye. I have concerns around data and the way that data may be collected and held on to, and I wish someone was here from HPD to explain. I know that it might be, from what it says, maybe it's gonna be used for buying an LPR or something like that, but it also discusses cameras and so forth. I'd be more comfortable voting for this if I could speak to someone from HPD.
So is that no?
It's a no.
Okay,
Volo.
Aye.
Cousin.
Yes.
Moranti.
Aye.
Karen.
So the next one is a budget amendment. We have been trying to work through our planning board, has been trying to work through objections on their attorney fee costs for planning board activity. So this is a budget amendment, which moves 3,000 from fund balance into professional services for the planning board. We have this resolution here this evening, everything about how bills from the planning board to authorize this evening, so that is the necessity. Any questions?
Where's the money coming from? Fund balance?
No, this is actually a budget amendment, because there is not money in their line item for professional services to cover the fees associated with the, it's not, these are not projects where the applicant is paying any fees. This is money for professional services to the planning board. So this is America budget amendment.
The concern is that it's June, so halfway into the year, we're already out of professional services budget. Is
It's
it under budget or is this unforeseen?
It's Heather on one.
I believe so, yes.
Heather, can you speak to this budget amendment for the planning board?
Only to a minor extent from what I know through the clerk's office via the planning board. I believe some of it is related to some one-time costs of having new planning board attorneys assigned to the planning board and them having to spend time reviewing old materials and getting up to speed and looking at, as you know, the various challenges that the city is facing directly or indirectly through the planning board. So my sense is that was one of the reasons why, not insignificant amount of the budget was used up earlier in the year.
And the other thing, Heather, that I'll point out to Ronnie's question is that this covers bills in hand. And the second budget amendment to provide adequate funds for the remainder of the year will be forthcoming. And the estimate, I believe, that we got from the planning board is approximately 4 hours a month, correct?
Yeah.
So there will be an additional budget amendment to cover the rest of the year.
Correct.
Any other questions? Okay, can we have an introduction? Vote? Henry, second is the one. Roll call vote.
President Morris,
Yes.
Councilmember Haddad,
Aye.
Vernon Hagen,
Aye.
Rodney,
Aye.
Sarver,
Aye.
Foster,
Aye.
Roberts,
Aye.
Pendleton,
Aye.
Bola,
Aye.
Cousins,
Aye.
Moranti,
Aye.
Carrie.
Okay, the next is also a budget amendment relating to the planning board, for an amendment of $500, to renew their Municap software. This is the software that they use, in their meetings. So any questions? Okay, can we have an introduction? Jason, introduction, second. Henry. And roll call
Hello,
vote.
guys. You don't raise your hand.
There's like that.
Okay. I'm getting through it.
President Morris,
Yes.
Councilmember Haddad,
Aye.
Vernon Hagen,
Yes.
Brownie.
Aye.
Sauer,
Aye.
Foster,
Aye.
Roberts,
Aye.
Pendleton,
Aye.
Bola,
Aye.
Cousins,
Aye.
Moranti,
Aye.
Carrie.
Okay, the next one, sorry.
I'm sorry to go back with this. Can we just have a good contact with the planning board about projections next year and
If you want to comment on Vogel, or I can reach out to him and ask him to provide us more detail.
no, I meant not detail about what happened, but like get better in the PDA process. I assume they talk.
Yes, they are. Well, they present a budget. And Heather, I was not on the BEA last year, so I don't know how much, I don't recall how much was allocated for professional services. I know that there was some discussion that the applicants were paying, but I think that there was an underestimate in the amount of monies that cannot be paid directly by an applicant because it's simply the attorney attending the meetings and supporting the planning board, providing guidance.
From what Heather was saying, some of that cost is because we have a new attorney, which wasn't on the plan then. in the middle of the
Right. And we also, a new chair, new board, and new members. Yeah. But, I know that Ron has gotten an estimate, and I think certainly Heather, it would be, not unwise to sit down and get a closer look at exactly what we expect the attorney fees to be. Anything else, Jason? Okay. So the next is one that you got yesterday. This is, Chief Franklin, contacted me yesterday. This is authorizing the mayor to execute, basically it's a renewal of a contract with the Hudson City School District for the resource officer, which the school district pays for. The time sensitivity on this is that their next board meeting is July 7th, and they will be voted, they need to be able to vote on this and execute the contract at their next board meeting. So I apologize for bringing it in at the last minute, but that's why we have this one here. Okay. One introduced, do we have as a second? Jenny as a second. Roll call vote, please.
President Morris,
Yes.
Councilmember Haddad,
Aye.
Karen Hagan,
Aye.
Brownie.
Aye.
Sarver. Foster. Roberts. Felton.
Aye.
Volo. Cousin.
I'm gonna vote yes, but I'm gonna ask Mashonda if there's some type of reporting that can happen quarterly about what's happening in school, both positive and just like different interactions that are happening in school at safety committee meeting. So, aye.
Moranti.
Aye.
Carrie.
Next is our resolution, there are two pieces to this. The first is a resolution which we have been through a couple of times relating to, use of video conferencing. It doesn't substantively change really what we've been doing in the past. It just lays out more specifically what, exceptional circumstances are, and also by doing it, by resolution rather than local law. In the event that New York State law changes, it is much more nimble to be able to change things by resolution. So that's what this resolution is. And then after this, we have after the bills, we have a local law which repeals. This was enacted by local law previously. So in addition to doing this resolution, we need to repeal the local law, and then we will be in a position to be more nimble in responding to any changes in the state's law with regard to video conferencing. Any questions, or I think we have discussed this up. Okay, we have an introduction. Long introduced, Dan Henry is going to be second, I can see.
Jason was first.
Oh, I didn't see, sorry. I'm sorry, okay, sorry, Jason, sorry. Roll call vote, please.
President Morris,
Yes.
Councilmember Haddad,
Aye.
Karen Hagan,
Aye.
Brownie.
Aye.
Sarver.
Aye.
Foster. Roberts.
Aye.
Felton.
Aye.
Volo. Cousin. Moranti.
Aye.
Carrie.
Next, we have, our bills. As always, the detailed invoices are available for your review in the clerk's office. Can we have any discussion or questions? Yes.
Who are Wagner, Ryan?
That is the attorney, the new attorney, who is working with our city attorney. They are representing us in some litigation, and they are also the planning board.
Okay,
And I've gone through what you can look at all of the invoices.
I just did.
Yeah, so much of the costs that you're seeing here relate to litigation. But some of it relates to, they're just their planning board support. It's the same company for both, and there are separate invoices for everything.
I have a general question about that type of invoice. I assume it's not budgeted. And do we ever?
But there is,
Budget
there's a budget for litigation. Yes, there is, and if you're welcome to look at the invoices anytime, they're available on the budget. Okay.
Just asking about budgeting, the process of budgeting and the amount budgeted for litigation.
Monies were budgeted for litigation. Heather, I don't know if you have that number offhand. That's what was budgeted in 2025 for 2026.
I believe that we had $80,000 budgeted for not just litigation, but also other things that the city attorney and the council attorney do not handle.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, can we have an introduction? David, vote to pay the bills. Henry, and the second, Jason. Roll call vote, please.
President Morris,
Yes.
Councilmember Haddad,
Aye.
Karen Hagan,
Aye.
Brownie.
Aye.
Sarver.
Aye.
Foster.
Aye.
Robert. Felton. Volo. Cousin. Moranti.
Aye.
Carrie.
Excellent. And local law, this is the repeal of the previous local law, which will make then the resolution will be effective. So can we have an introduction for the resolution repealing the previous local law on video conferencing? Henry and Gary is the second.
Oh.
You're right there. Sorry.
Give that ball.
Sure. Okay, roll call vote, please.
President Morris,
Yes.
Councilmember Hagan,
Aye.
Fernhagen,
Aye.
Barone.
Aye.
Sarver,
Aye.
Foster,
Aye.
Roberts,
Aye.
Felton,
Aye.
Boland,
Aye.
Cousin, Moran.
Aye.
Okay. I would now like to go to an item in old business. Last week at our informal meeting, the members of the community, raised some questions around the contract between the city and Carney. And whether or not it was still in effect. The date on the original contract was 3 years from, rather than the 2 6-month extensions, 3 years from the date of signature, which would have put it at May 2026 as having expired. So I researched it and identified that a amendment was signed by the mayor and by Carney on May 20th. That amendment, and it's linked specifically to the closing date. That amendment is on file in the clerk's office for any member of the public to review it. But I want to just read to you the language in the closing date. So previously, the closing date had been based upon 2 years with 2 6-month extensions to allow the purchaser to get funding and financing and so forth. The new language, and there was 10,000 in escrow that if the contract was onboarded would be returned. The new language reads, the closing of title shall take place on the date which is 30 days after the seller has discontinued all pending actions, proceedings relating to the ability of the seller to convey the title to the property to the purchaser in accordance with the terms and conditions set forth herein. The closing shall be held at the principal office of the city or such other location as the parties may agree upon, provided, however, that at the request of the purchasing lender, if there is a lender, the closing shall take place at the location selected by the lender. That replaces section 8.3 of the original contract. The contract and the amendment are both on file in the clerk's office. Any questions?
Yes, so, what does that, put that date at?
It doesn't have a date.
And the mayor chose to extend this sale rather than kill it.
So I can't speak to that. The situation according to this amendment is that the city cannot currently convey the title to the property to the purchaser in this amendment. So I cannot really speak anything beyond what
Because
is in
it's
it.
pending litigation.
The question was asked by a community member. I researched it because I hadn't seen the amendment. I located it and had it put on file in the clerk's office.
Okay. Well, is anyone familiar with that contract?
Yes.
It's $450,000 and it's only a $10,000 escrow down payment, which is wildly low. You cannot go to any house in Columbia County for that number. We have the short end of the stick on that one, on that sale. I suggest everyone on the council read the contract. It is very bad. It is bad for us. It is bad for Mill Street. And to continue this, in my opinion, is a slap in the face to the taxpayers and the community members.
I have a question for you. What do you think we can do about it?
We can vote no when it comes across our desk. If we have the ability to vote no on
It has
anything,
already
but
been signed.
there's not much I guess we can do other than be upset about the leadership's choice
In protest.
in diminishing a community, a small community in the city,
Yeah.
a small neighborhood,
I
sorry.
think the amendment, legal advice.
It didn't come before us.
It didn't come before, but I think the mayor had legal advice.
It sounds like that might be bad legal advice. I haven't seen a real estate contract that just proportionate before.
Henry, where'd you get the number 450?
It was on the contract.
That's the same price.
The sale price was $450,000
For just Mill Street?
for Mill
Mill
Street
Street
property.
Mill Street and the station.
Well, part of that, my
There are two
understanding
parts.
is the former mayor agreed to sue that half that's getting from the school.
That would be nice.
I can't really comment on this, other than to recommend that you all read the contract. Look, requesting was signed on May 2023, that's the original, and the only thing that was amended is paragraph 8 on page 3, which I've just read to you. Yes,
This is all pending, litigation.
That's correct.
The current court system.
right, that's correct, because as per the language in this amendment, it'll be 30 days. After the seller has discontinued all pending actions relating to the ability of the seller to convey fee title of the property. So this is based on the fact that the city cannot convey fee title. Right.
So there's,
That's the hard.
all this really depends on. Right, forward.
But I believe the court's decision will only be on whether the parkland issue.
But there are other issues besides the parkland and.
That's not a problem.
Yeah.
I know, but there are other issues that I think could be a stumbling block for them too. They never said anything, they haven't put forward a plan for State Street, they haven't, you know, and Rosslyn got tanked, so I don't know. Like all of these 3 projects were connected, so if they're all now disconnected and 2 of them aren't happening, and in my opinion, the worst one might happen, I don't know, it seems like they're again in default of the contract.
So, I can tell you, because when I pulled the contracts, the Rossman sale was a separate contract. And the parcels on State Street and Mill Street were in the same contract. So, yes, but it was all presented to us, back in 2023 as one project. So what I did say to the community member who was here last week, was that we would put this on the agenda, and hear what the community has to say, but I did want to connect you with my follow-up on what I was able to find out about the amendment, because that was a question of the month. Logan, go ahead.
Yes, mine.
Okay,
Ronald?
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
My question relates to the mayor's power to grant this extension without consulting the council. I would like some clarification on that.
I'm afraid I am not in a position to give you clarification. All I can say is that it did not come before us. And, yes.
Can council give us any clarification?
Could look into the process that was followed and what the original authorizations were. I don't have an answer off the cuff on it, but we can look at.
Well, I did
exactly
look
how-
at, I looked at the authorization, and there was language about how if the applicant was obtaining certain kinds of funding, that I think 2 6-month extensions were possible.
That's correct.
It wasn't clear to me who had the power to grant or permit the extensions.
Ron, I think the best thing we can do, rather than trying to answer without researching it, is to look into it and have a response on our next meeting.
Matt McGee would also like to make a statement.
Okay?
Yes.
Go ahead, Matt.
Under our constitutional form of government, which involves having representatives as the premier body of government, you have control of the purse. And I would think that this contract is a matter of money, and you have the last word. And it should have come before you, if I'm understanding our Constitution and our form of government correctly. Thank you.
Thank you.
You got one more.
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead. Was it?
Carla, go ahead.
Hi, this is Carla Sadoff. Mayor Joe is on the phone, so you could actually, I would like Mayor Ferris, if that's appropriate, to answer the question about how did that happen and does,
Is he on one?
It's in a phone.
So, with due respect, Carla, if Mayor Burris wishes to raise his hand and speak, that's his choice, but I am not going to have public comment from the council directed to the mayor without giving him an opportunity to be prepared for that. So, I think
Okay.
if there are questions that you want to ask the mayor, the appropriate thing will be to ask those directly of the mayor.
okay, fair enough. And then
Thank-
your response to the not knowing, I don't hear you saying that you're going to find out.
I am giving the public and the council an update from last week's meeting from what I researched, what I identified in the public amendment, and had to file in the clerk's office, and that's the information that I have. I don't read anything else. to
Right, but
say.
okay, but there was a question asked of you and the council, if I understand, if I heard correctly,
Correct.
and I may not
Yes.
have, that
Yes.
that it was the council's call in this, and the mayor gave the extension, but there is this nebulous notion that the council should have had the final say. And I don't hear you as the president
Yes, so
saying you're going
I-
to, let me finish, please. Let me
Go
finish,
ahead,
please.
go ahead.
That
Yeah.
you would investigate this to see if in fact, yes, according to the contracts or according to the bylaws, you should have or you shouldn't have. I just don't
Okay,
hear
so
you saying something about it.
If you let me speak, I will give you an answer. When the question was asked, I cannot weigh in on that. Our legal counsel here has indicated that he is going to look into what process was followed. We will do that and we will report on it. But I am not going to offer a legal opinion that I am unqualified to give. We
Great,
will
and
research-
so
we have said that we will look into it and we will determine, first of all, what process was followed. And if there is an issue with that, we will certainly report on that. But I researched this last week and the community member raised it. I'm sharing the information with the public, and yes, we are going to look into what process was followed. But I'm not going to offer
Okay.
an opinion until I have done.
No,
research.
I'm not. First off, I didn't ask for an opinion. I just want to be clear about the way I'm speaking and what I'm saying. I didn't ask for your opinion. I did ask, or I was questioning why you weren't saying we will get clarity. And when I'm asking you, President, I'm not asking you personally. I'm asking you as the president of the Common Council who partners with the attorney. And I just didn't hear you say, we will investigate this further and get to whether there was a breach or no, it was completely no issue. That's my only.
Okay, so Carla, I deferred to our attorney and
Okay.
he answered the question.
Can I ask a question and you can say it's like generic questions. I keep hearing the word extension. But Margaret referred to this as an amendment. And
It is an amendment.
can you comment on how a contract might be amended that ends up extending it, but just how an amendment might work in regards to the closing date of it?
So I can answer that actually. If you read the original contract, there is a clear stated date of when the closing must occur. And that entire paragraph was replaced with what I read to make it a open-ended date, but within 30 days of when the seller, the ability of the seller to convey fee title to the property. So what it does is it moves a fixed date to a date that is dependent upon the seller's ability to convey the property. That's the clear language of the amendment. And both documents are available in the press.
Council, I'll take the answer.
I beg your pardon?
Yeah, so, any contract, basically, ordinarily, any contract can be amended by agreement of the parties. So there were terms that, whatever the expiration date, any terms, contracts can be modified if the parties agree to do so. What happened? The mayor's office essentially replaced the provision that in the existing contract that set an end date with a new one that extended it and gave a different baseline, which is instead of having any particular date, it was 30 days after the litigation ends. Now, the question is, the open question is, did the mayor have the authority to do that unilaterally? That's what we need to get into.
That's the question.
I mean, it can certainly be done. The question is, can the mayor do that under these circumstances with the litigation? Or does that need to come here? So changing the contract in itself is not an improper or unavailable thing to be done, but it is the question of who has the authority. And I know there was specific, there was some guidance that was forwarded to you describing some of what went into it, but we need to revisit that and look and see if that was done in the proper, under proper authorization.
And we can look at
So that's-
that, we report back to the tax scandal. That's just. Contract, shouldn't we vote on the amendment? I mean, that's. So we voted in January.
Yeah.
Approving we had a resolution approving the sale. And the document, the agreement that is attached to that resolution is not verbatim the agreement that was signed in May 2023. The agreement that was signed in May 2023 did not come back to the council. When I looked at it, I need to put more detailed review. It did not seem to me to be substantively different, but it was structurally different, and it was not the same document that we approved in January. And the May document did not come back to us for approval.
And this amendment is from that meeting.
No, this is from the May. The May document is the one that was signed by the previous mayor.
Understood.
But that did not, in substance, it appears to me to be the same. I haven't done a detailed analysis.
My question is, this change is done
Yes,
by
to-
the current mayor or the?
It was done by the current mayor on May 20th of this year to the agreement that was signed in May of 2020,
Which was also different from what was presented.
which was not the same as what was presented in January.
Sorry.
That's right.
How is that changed?
My first look at it, I don't see anything substantive. I'm going to have to send it to our council to have him review it to make sure that I haven't missed anything. Structurally, it's not the same. So the closing date is in a different paragraph. It's paragraph 8 in the current one. It was like 3 or 4 in the original. So structurally, it's not the same, but I didn't see substantive differences. But, both documents are available for anyone on the council to review. You can go back to our January 17th minutes to see the document that we approved. And you can request a copy of the May 2023 document from clerk, from the clerk's office, and the amendment. They're all available.
Can I just make that request right now?
Sure.
To send those up? I'm just looking at the January one.
You're looking at the January resolution, which has a document?
Yeah.
Okay, so yes, we can definitely get you the May 2023 document.
Because as it reads, from my understanding, and I'm not a lawyer, but as it reads, we initially authorized 2 extensions.
Correct.
And since the common council authorizes the contracting party, which is the mayor is de
Yes.
facto the
Yes.
the person who signs contract.
Yes.
Yeah, so I would understand that they could grant those extensions, but the fact that it's been changed, that's what
Right.
brings into the.
This isn't an extension, and the original, as you recall,
Right.
said you have 2 years from the date of signature, and you have up to 2 6-month extensions, and the whole language around that thing was about whether or not the purchaser was able to secure it and make a good
Right.
efforts to get finance and so
Right.
forth. This scenario has nothing to do with
That's
finance.
what I'm saying.
It's
If it was just a simple
It's a completely
extension.
different
I don't see any
situation.
issues with that, but
Yes,
because
it's
that.
a very different situation.
Where?
Yes.
But
I'm sorry, again, we approved the initial thing, why wouldn't we approve any amendment?
Right.
Wouldn't that fall under our purview, like, would?
I think that's a very valid question, and one we should answer.
Yep.
Any other council members got questions on this? I thought I was just going to read a short paragraph. We have a community member.
Observation. Today we allocated more money towards legal fees, or you guys are planning to. And on that same meeting, this issue, if it is challenged in a taxpayer lawsuit for a error of a ministerial act, the act of extending a contract without authorization, that could cost taxpayers dearly. It could lead to the contract being voided. And any people who follow public affairs very closely and like to gun off the system can do this for a very small amount of money with attorneys within 100 meters of sitting in this room. And so I'm concerned about that for taxpayers. I'm concerned that Mill Street residents who have to live through this for years, are not treated this way. And finally, I'd like to have a request to you guys as individual council members, is to when you rely on legal opinion, or when you are told by the mayor's office, or anyone else, or the Albany politicians, that a lawyer said X, immediately ask them for that legal opinion on letterhead and issued by the firm. Because the city is encouraging or acquiring more liabilities, and people are making decisions claiming that they have legal authority. But when we ask the lawyers to sign it under their letterhead, they rarely do. And many of the city's current active litigation stems from executives acting on council's advice. That is then not discoverable during discovery. And it is costing taxpayers a ton of money. And it is unfair to you guys because this is very detailed and none of us are lawyers. How can we know? So that's my observation for the report. And my question or my suggestion to you guys is to always ask for the opinion of the city attorney of which one, for the PV attorney and which one, to put it in an official legal opinion letter.
Thank you. Do we have any other answers?
Yeah, I believe Ronald raised his hand again.
Ron, is your hand
Yeah,
re-raised
my
or
hand
is it
is
just
raised.
not?
My question is just to ask if this May 2023 document is available online.
It's in the clerk's office. I don't believe it's online.
What is that?
The May 2020, the May
The one that
2023 one.
Yeah.
You have it on file.
I haven't had the contact.
Yeah, it's not online, and it, like, I went through the council documents for 2023, and it was not located there because it didn't come to us. So therefore, it is available through the clerk's office.
Okay, thank you.
Any other comment? Okay, so that was old business. I do not have any new business. You have new business?
I have a new business related to something Claire said earlier about the school resource officer. I haven't seen a member of the school board at a meeting for 18 years, 20 years. Dominic, maybe you have more living memory than most of us in the room. I thought the school board, or at least a representative, used to come to the city meetings.
A couple of years ago, the superintendent came to explain the budget, but that's the only time.
Yeah. And if rightfully, Claire, we should have some of those answers about safety or data statistics of what the resource officer is dealing with. But could we send a letter, or Margaret, could you send a letter
sure.
to ask someone from the school board to attend any form of a meeting, if it's just a council meeting or a committee meeting, just to have some more of a active dialogue between the city and the school? I know we have a new superintendent now, and I wish him all the best, so maybe, turning a new leaf, turning a page, that's definitely not there.
But I can tell you that a number of years ago, during one of the superintendent changes, they were having their board there for education meeting at the same time as the common council meeting.
Right.
And I met with her about a couple of things, and one of the things that we talked about was maybe they could change it to not conflict with the council meeting, and she did. So, I think, yes, I would happily go and reach out and talk to the new superintendent.
Thanks.
Oh, are we talking about, I think that the school district, board, that they do go over, I think, in their meetings on discipline, in terms of numbers of referrals and things like that. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about HPD resource interactions.
Oh, well, that I think was more specifically to Claire's question, but I'm more of an umbrella question of if we just had more of a dialogue just to say, oh, what's happening in the next month maybe, or what are your projections for the future for the graduating class, or what's going on in the school in general, would probably just help the two entities bridge a little bit of a information gap, disseminate some of that to the public. I know that not everyone is thrilled with how the budget has been over the last couple of years in terms of how much we're spending on each student. And it might do them a world of good as well, just to have more of an open dialogue.
And like Barbara said, with the new superintendent, this might be a good time to open that door.
Yeah.
Correct. With the new superintendent.
Thanks. Any other hands raised? Any other comments in the room? Okay,
That's a quick question. At the last planning board meeting, comment was made that the common council was gonna meet with the planning board in a workshop meeting to discuss the amended local law.
it's not a workshop. It is a meeting at the next, planning board meeting. It is a planning board meeting.
Yeah.
The chair of the planning board requested that the council come and provide, legislative intent of the proposed, clarification of the code, the new local law.
So,
It is scheduled, I believe Mr. Vogel is away right now, but I confirmed with him that we would be able to do that at 5:30 before the next planning board meeting. Whatever.
the July planning board meeting.
I think it's July 14th.
Yeah, it's at 5:30.
Along those lines, do we as a council, can we discuss what we want to say at that meeting?
Well, the question is about legislative intent, and Ken is going to go, it basically the request was to Ken, Mr. Dow, to go and speak to the planning board, and that's what he's doing, and it's a planning board meeting, and anyone can go. I've attended many planning board meetings as a council member, and anyone can attend and speak. So it's, it's not a council meeting.
No, I'm not saying it's a council meeting. I was just thinking that there's the legal opinions and legal, but what the council's opinion is and the common council's representation of the law and what our intent is.
Well, what is going to be presented is the legislative intent that was part of the writing of this law, which came from Mr. Dow. So it seems to me that he is the appropriate person to explain legislative intent.
It's basically laid out in the law. It really is the understanding of how this came about, how it integrates with the possible remand of the matter back to the planning board. I think when it comes out of nowhere, seemingly out of nowhere, people are puzzled about why this thing came into being. So you just.
No, from what I saw from the planning board, they were just confused.
Right,
Well,
right.
it is because it just like shows, if this proposed law shows up out of nowhere. People are going, what is this about? Why is this happening? What's going on? That the explanation is pretty straightforward. It's that it is in the introductory part. There is litigation which may result, and we've been through this a couple times here, it may result in the court sending a matter back to the planning board to address some additional questions. That's why.
What I would like to recommend here is there's a meeting scheduled to explain this and to present what is in the document to the planning board and answer any of their questions, and that anyone interested should attend that meeting. Because I think we've already discussed it, I think, in this committee. And I think discussing it again, doesn't answer what's going to happen at the planning board. And so I recommend that people attend the planning board meeting.
They have to give a report or pass on, but they're supposed to either give a report on their thoughts on it. They can defer and say they don't have an opinion, but they just are kind of confused about what they're opining on, I think.
Has the county responded yet?
Yes, they have.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
I didn't see that. Oh, I didn't see that. Okay, so it came this afternoon, my bad.
Yeah, the county unanimously disapproved adoption of the law.
I will read it. So, any other new business? Okay. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Successful Pride Day. Thanks for showing up, everyone.
Oh,
Yeah, it's great.
it was a lot
That was
of
fun.
fun.
Sure.
So what do we got? We got Jenny and who else?
That's okay. Who's second? Who's second?
All right.
Thank you.